Coach, let's reflect on the game. We scored first and considered late in the game. Do you think that was due to a lapse of concentration in the last minutes of the game? Or was it because Matama was now coming onto your team?
Yeah, I think it was both. The guys, I think they lost concentration, and at the same time, giving credit to Matlama because they came back and they put pressure on us, and at the end, they managed to have that equalizer. Yeah.
And one would say we saw Tabon Fosse playing with an injury, if I may say.
I would say yes. He had a knock during the last weekend against LDF. So he's been under the close eye of our medical team. And they had given him a green light to play. But I think during the course of the game, he aggravated the injury. So we had to pull him out.
And maybe one would say during the game, we saw Matlama maybe in the early stages of the game putting pressure on your boys, but they responded very well. They didn't concede in the first half. They went on to score first goal of the game. What did you say to the boys before the game and during the halftime?
No, actually it was a game whereby the boys were motivated, and at the same time, we as the technical team, we encouraged them to go there into the game to impose themselves, because it's only through the kind of games like bigger teams with like Matlama, whereby our players can also show that they got what it takes, and they impose themselves quite well. There was a lot of creativity in terms of trying to get goal-scoring opportunities. So, and also defensively, I think they did very well, including our goalkeeper. So, we were quite satisfied with the way they conducted themselves, really.
And maybe in the race, one would say, or I would say, we saw something unusual happening on Saturday before the game, with the boys playing on a different jersey. I would say Matama Kick jersey, warm-up jersey. I don't know, but can you just narrate to us the circumstances leading to that?
Yeah, obviously normally for a game you take your home kit, and if you're the away team you'll take your home kit and your away kit, which we did. But as it turned out, Matlama were wearing blue and white, and the referee thought that our away jersey would still clash too much with their home kit. Obviously we couldn't wear blue, so we had to find something else to wear. We've got a green kit here, but it's not ready for to be used, so we had to find something else. So Matlama kindly offered to lend us their warm-up tops. So that's all it was, really.
And Coach, talking about that incident, don't you think that had an effect on your players?
No, not at all. Not at all. They were happy because, it did not really take anything away from them in terms of focus on the game. Yeah. So I think it even added more, encouragement to them.
We might ask to borrow them every week now.
So, and it was a very good thing that Matlama management did, because, it was all about the game and nothing else.
Coach, with one game to go before the Christmas break, would you say you are where you wanted to be now? Your targets at the beginning of the season to say by Christmas break we should be here. Are you where you guys wanted to be?
Yes, we are where we actually wanted to be in the mix of top four position. Because being on the top, yeah, it was an icing on the cake. But just being in the mix of top four, it's a very good achievement. You know, I think the boys deserve a pat on the back. They've been brilliant. You know, so hopefully in the second round also, they'll still soldier on and express themselves. You know, in terms of showing hunger to and the will to win. You know.
Being on top comes with pressure. Teams are coming out and they want to be Kick4Life. I mean, what is Kick4Life doing on top? That's what they're asking. So
Yeah.
still want to be on top.
Yeah.
It comes with pressure. How do you keep them level-minded?
Mhm. No, we normally have sessions whereby we deal with managing the position. So I think they have really done well in that regard of managing the pressure that you're talking about of being on top. And it shows to us that that's what we've been talking about, that yes, as a small team growing, there are a lot of things that we need to go through, you know, in order for us in our growth. So I think the boys have really shown maturity in terms of behaving well on and off the pitch. You know, like teams would come and say, no, Kick4Life on top, and they've been there competing, you know, in a very serious manner. So I think we are all happy with the way things have been going so far. Yeah.
And maybe speaking of maturity and stuff like that, we've seen players like Siliso Sejake, Sisoma Piquet accelerating whenever they've been given a chance. Is it something that is giving you a variety of options as to who to put, and you know when you have to substitute somebody, then you have somebody who still feel the position of the player that you're putting out?
Yeah, no, we also in that regard we are quite happy because if you recall last season we spoke about depth, you know. So in this regard, we can see that we are growing in terms of numbers on our bench. Now we have options, we have variations of players coming in who comes during the course of the game and add value, you know. So we are quite happy in that regard.
In terms of scoring goals, coach, doing so on top, goal difference, how important is it to score as many goals?
Yeah, it is very, very important. And like every week, there is a session where we work on goal scoring, you know, finishing, trying to give our players all variations, situations in terms of in the attacking third. So if you check our statistics, when we take the stats during the game, we have a lot of attempts. We do make a lot of attempts in goal. So all now that we really need to work on, it's being clinical, you know. Yes, because that's what football is all about, goals. So it's really something that we working on, seeing to it that our boys are quite clinical.
And amongst the top four teams, you are the team that has considered more goals. And coming to the second round of the season, how are you going to approach that? You don't concede many goals as you considered in the first round of the season.
Yeah, that's one. It's another big task. We need to see to it that our defensively we should do better, and I believe there still is room for improvement in that regard. And we'll be sitting down with our technical team, working on how best we can reinforce, if needs be, and also in training we should also work on that defensive duties.
Maybe still on goal scoring. On Saturday we saw Types of Brown coming off the field due to an injury. Do you by now have an update or an idea of how his condition is, or are we likely not to see him on the next game?
He's with our medical team today, so probably later in the evening or tomorrow morning we'll get the results from our medical team how the injury is. Because it would be very good to have him over the weekend when we play LMPS.
And maybe the replace you talked about the other kid that we have, the green jersey. Maybe can you just tell us on will it be available maybe for the second round?
Yeah, we'll have it available to use one way or another. Good thing is with it, it's an extra kit that came as part of our deal with Adidas that we have in the US. So we can be quite flexible what way we use it, whether it's as a jersey for league games, jersey for top 8, whether we use it as training kit. Obviously, the weekend showed it might be useful to use it as a third kit, so perhaps we'll do that. But one way or another, it's available in January.
And maybe, coach, going forward into the next game, how important is it for your team maybe to finish on a high note?
Yeah, it is very important, and I also believe for our players it would be very good to end the year with a win. And at the same time, we are aware that it's not going to be easy playing against LMPS. They have one of the best defense lines in our league. So it's a game whereby we say, no, let's go for it. Let's see how best we can come up with a win for ourselves, for the whole team, for the supporters. And we're looking forward to the game. Yeah.